By the end of this tutorial, you'll be able to connect Claude to your Postgres database using an MCP server, which is a game changer for your workflow. This connection enables you to leverage Claude's capabilities with your existing database infrastructure, allowing for powerful data interactions and analyses. You'll be able to use Claude's AI to query, manipulate, and gain insights from your data in Postgres, which opens up a whole new world of possibilities. Connecting Claude to Postgres is useful because it lets you tap into the strengths of both systems. Claude's ability to understand and generate human-like language, and Postgres' robust data storage and management capabilities. This integration can help you automate tasks, generate reports, and even build custom applications that interact with your database. To get started, you'll need a few things: a Postgres database setup, an MCP server running, and the Claude API configured. Don't worry if you're new to these tools. We'll walk through each step together. By combining Claude's language understanding with your Postgres data, you'll be able to build more intelligent and automated systems. So, let's get started with connecting Claude to your Postgres database. Your first step will be to set up an MCP server and get familiar with its configuration options. By the end of this, you'll be able to set up your environment with Postgres and an MCP server ready to connect with Claude. First, make sure you have Postgres installed and running on your machine. You can check this by running the command psql u-postgres in your terminal. If you haven't installed Postgres yet, you can download it from the official Postgres website. Once you've confirmed Postgres is up and running, create a new database using the command created-my-database. Replace my database with the name of your choice. Next, you'll need to set up an MCP server. You can do this by running the command mcpsrv p8080 in a new terminal window. This will start the MCP server on port 8080. Now, let's get your Claude API credentials ready. You should have received these when you signed up for a Claude account. Make sure you have your API key and API secret handy, as you'll need them for authentication. Keep these credentials secure, as they grant access to your Claude account. With Postgres running, an MCP server set up, and your Claude API credentials ready, you're now one step closer to connecting Claude to your Postgres database. Your next step is to configure your MCP server to connect to your Postgres database, which we'll cover in the next part. For now, take a moment to verify that your Postgres database is accessible and that your MCP server is running without any issues. By the end of this, you'll be able to configure your MCP server to connect with Claude and your Postgres database. Now that your environment is set up, it's time to tell your MCP server how to talk to Claude and your database. You'll do this by editing the server configuration file, typically named config.json. Open config.json in your favorite text editor. You'll see a JSON object with some default settings. You need to add your Claude API credentials, the API key, and the API secret. These are sensitive, so be careful not to share them. Add a new section to the JSON object for your Claude credentials. It should look something like Claude API your underscore secret. Your underscore secret. Replace your underscore API underscore key and your underscore API underscore secret with your actual Claude API credentials. Next, you'll specify the Postgres database connection details. Add another section for the database. It might look like database URL PostgreSQL / username, password at host, port/name. Replace the placeholders with your actual Postgres database URL, username, password, host, port, and database name. Save the config.json file. With your MCP server configured, you're one step closer to connecting Claude to your Postgres database. Now, try editing your config.json file with your Claude API credentials and Postgres database connection details to see how it looks. Vocabulary, configuration, credentials, Postgres, MCP. By the end of this, you'll be able to connect Claude to your Postgres database using a simple Python script. You've got your MCP server set up, so now it's time to put it to use. Create a new file named connect_claude_to_postgres.py. In this script, you'll import the necessary libraries, including the Claude API client. You'll need to install it first using pip install Claude API. Now, In your connect_Claude_to_Postgres.py file, import the Claude API client and initialize it with your API key. You can get your API key from the Anthropic dashboard. Initialize the client like this. Client equals Claude. Client, API_key equals your underscore here. Replace your API_key here with your actual API key. Next, you'll use the Claude API to connect to your MCP server. You'll do this by creating an instance of the Claude.mcp class, passing in a URL of your MCP server. It should look something like this. MCP equals Claude.mcp, https://your-mcp-server.com. Replace https://your-mcp-server.com with the actual URL of your MCP server. Now, you can use the MCP object to query your Postgres database. Let's say you have a table named users and you want to retrieve all the rows from it. You can do this with the following code. Results equals mcp.query. Select asterisk from users. The results variable will hold the data retrieved from your database. Finally, print out the results to verify that the connection was successful. Print results. Run your script using Python. Python connect_Claude_to_Postgres.py. If everything is set up correctly, you should see the data from your users table printed out in your terminal. By the end of this, you'll be able to verify that your Claude connection to Postgres is working correctly. You've set up your MCP server and written the script to connect to your Postgres database. Now it's time to test it. Run your script using the command node_script.js in your terminal, replacing script.js with the name of your actual script file. This will initiate the connection to your Postgres database via the MCP server and execute the query you've defined. As the script runs, you should see the data being retrieved from your Postgres database and processed by Claude. To verify this, check the console output for any error messages or the expected results from your query. If everything is set up correctly, you should see the data fetched from your database and possibly some output from Claude indicating that it has processed the information as expected. You can also use a tool like pgadmin to check the database directly and confirm that the data matches what's being returned by your script. This step is crucial because it ensures that the connection is not only established but also functional, allowing you to move forward with integrating Claude's capabilities with your database. Now, go ahead and run your script, and while you're waiting for the results, think about what you want to achieve next with your Claude and Postgres integration. By the end of this, you'll be able to query your Postgres database using Claude. Now that you've connected Claude to your Postgres database using an MCP server, it's time to try querying a specific table in your database. You've set up the connection, tested it, and verified that everything is working as expected. To take it to the next level, try executing a command like Claude query, database my database, table mightable to see the results. This will allow you to leverage Claude's query capabilities and explore your data in a more meaningful way. You can find the full workflow and commands we've covered so far in the description below, along with a link to the Claude documentation for more information on the Claude query command and its various options. If you want to see more practical, hands-on tutorials like this one, be sure to subscribe to our channel for the latest on working with Claude and its ecosystem. Now, go ahead and try querying your database using Claude, execute Claude query, database my database, table mightable, and see what you can discover. Vocabulary, execute, query, capabilities, discover.